All right, so we got a Chevrolet 5.3 motor. Temperature gauge is not reading, so it's sending the radiator fans into overdrive and they just won't shut off. Cut the car off and it sit there, whoo, fans running 100 miles an hour. So what you need to do, most likely the problem is thermostat's right here. Well, this plug right in here beside it, right there, this plug right here, that's your coolant temp sensor. It's not reading, 98% chance, because this is old and dirty. This Suburban right here has got 200,000 miles on it and that's never been changed. So if you're having the same problem where the sensor's not reading and your fans are going wild, I recommend changing out the thermostat, which is right here, and this sensor. I'm actually in a big hurry this morning, so I'm just going to change out the sensor and hopefully it works. But you can take this whole mess off, or since I'm in a hurry, I think I'm going to see if I can just get at that sensor without taking this mess off real quick. All right, this thing's in my way too much, so I'm going to take it off. Take that off. Take that hose off right there, just squeeze them. Take this off where your air filter is, and then take this off, undo that screw, and then it's going to be easier for me to get to that plug. Oh yeah, much easier. Got that big mess off. Now you can see our thermostat is right here and our temperature sensor is right there. If you go in to get a replacement, tell them you need the coolant temperature sensor for your Chevy. And like I said, if you got time, I recommend replacing the thermostat while you're at it. And in here, it's literally just 3 bolts. Boop, boop, boop. I'll probably come back and do that, but my wife needs this car today in a hurry, so I'm just doing this for right now. You're gonna need to take this clip off, then pull this sensor out. This should be a 19 millimeter right here. Take it out and put the new one back in, and then clip it back together and put all that air business back together. While you're in here, you might as well wipe some of this off. See how dirty that is. Ooh. Might as well show you what I'm doing, since this type of clip is a little bit trickier than some. This is like some kind of little safety clip, and first you got to pull that up with a screwdriver, and then you can get this sensor, or this clip, off of the sensor. Before you get to fooling with anything, disconnect the negative on your battery. Alright, so there is where I got it out. Here is our old one. You always want to make sure that they gave you the right part at the part store. You know, sometimes they'll give you the wrong thing. Looks like a match to me. And they put the Teflon tape on factory from the part. Which part was this? Let me show you the box. I got this from Napa, the only place in town that had it. This is the Delphi, and there's the part number right there. This is the only one in town anybody had, but looks to be the exact same part. Some people will tell you to take that Teflon off. I say to leave it on, but it had tape on it from the factory. You can see right there it's all pretty much gone, but I would think this should still be working, but apparently it's not. So obviously the brand new one's a lot cleaner. I'm gonna slap that one back in there, put the plug in, put that big mess back in there, fire it up, and let it warm up, see if the temperature reads. And like I said, this is aluminum right here, so I recommend just finger tight this baby down in here. You don't want to get the threads all messed up on there. So just get it going finger tight, and once you hit that Teflon tape, it's going to get a little bit harder to turn, but it has that copper washer on there. And now I got it as tight as I can with my hand. I'm gonna cinch it back down there with my wrench. All right, got it tight down here. If you're one of those guys who's stickler for torques, I think the book says 12 pounds or so for this. And then I'm gonna put my plug back on. Make sure it's on there good and tight. It's not coming off. And then this one had one of those goofy little locking clips, so I'm gonna try to get that back down in there. There we go. Now it's not coming off. Now I'm gonna hook up all this mess right here. Wipe some of this out. And then we're gonna fire it up and let the temperature come up and see if the gauge reads now. All right, now I got this baby on there. Make sure you get all these real tight. That one down there and this up here. Cars these days got all these goofy computer sensors, and if you don't have these seals tight and air's getting out, then your stuff's not going to run right. So now I'm going to fire this thing up. Need to just connect the battery back, then we'll see if the temperature comes up now where it wasn't before. Alright, so I just took it around the block. You can see the coolant temp is now coming up to read about 180, 190, where it was not reading before, and it was causing those fans to run like wild in overdrive mode because that temp sensor wasn't working. But got the new one in, $40-some part. Piece of cake using some simple tools. That literally took me 10 minutes. Appreciate y'all watching. That's all it was. If your fans are going like crazy or your temperature gauge isn't reading, $40 part. Goes in a lot of those 5.3 motors and your Suburbans and your Silverados. Easy fix. Save you a week worth of hassle and probably $500 at some shop down the road.